was fun, yeah, because what happened is like actually Annie is not my assistant. She's just somebody I know. I've read her fiction and non-fiction. My assistants were all busy, and I met quite a few young directors who I said, okay, we have a good subject. I mean, a good story with Shor as the thing. And it took us. I mean, we couldn't find anybody really. And then almost last moment, she came up with this story in about 48 hours. I had a great time.
What were the inputs that you shared with your understudy?
Perfect thing. Why don't interrupt? Star Love Aajkal and Jab We Met. So there is already a working rapport of understanding, and also I felt that we did not have this problem of like I would boss over him or he would listen to me, because even while he was assisting me, he wasn't really listening to me. So it was fun that because he is the most unpredictable type character who's worked with me. So it was fun that he would be the one who I would be working on and he would be directing. And like it was almost time for me to say that you get a taste of your own medicine now. And so all the chaos that he had to go through, but really my inputs were really not measured or even decided. It was just that at every stage he would come whenever he felt like and said, this is my story, do you like it? Then I'd say, ye acha, ye bura, whatever my concept was, whatever my reaction was, I'd give it to him. And at every stage it just happened like that. At rough cut stage, before that, when he was making his shoot plan or the music. So it was like that, and it was a lot of fun actually.
Imtiaz, Satish, of course, there's a feel of Imtiaz Ali even in his film.
You think so?
Yeah, with regards to the travel bit, because even in your films, the characters, they go through a transformation when they travel. And I was watching even this film, when they travel, when they are on their way to the gig, the girl sense of, she gets a feeling of realization. So I thought that there was a lot of Imtiaz Ali bit even.
I don't think he's going to take it kindly, but if you say so.
Sriram, hi.
Hi, Pam.
So what we notice is that the underlying theme of almost all the short film is progressive. We're talking about all the writers who have been killed, or we're talking about Saffron mobiles. We're actually taking a take at what is happening in a way, cashback and everything. It's I think a wonderful way of seeing it as well. But considering that today's time, slight sarcasm and all these things are not appreciated, आपने ये कैसे बोल दिया anti-national and all that stuff. Do you find that it was refreshing? I really enjoyed both those films tremendously. They were really good. But you find it that maybe it's a good medium of expressing, but there are a lot of other mediums which are being plotted.
I mean, films are the best way of expressing any thought. You can also disguise it if you want. So,
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I didn't know क्या problem क्या है. I was expecting more such stories.
But the thing is, when you're talking about Saffron Mobile and when you're saying all those things, when you're talking about the writers who are killed, somewhere the references to Kalburgi and all those things that have happened in the last few years. So a lot has happened in the last maybe couple of years. A lot has been said, and the moment you express something, you start hearing all those shrill voices and they call names, all sorts of names. So many are saying that cinema is the perfect medium of just stamping it down. A lot of filmmakers, they've been totally, in fact their entire confidence has been totally shattered in terms of that you should not be saying this, you should not be working with that, such people. So in that context, it's a wonderful change. It's like I would say in a way, it's like a bold move as well.
I think they all chose. The main thing was the theme. That was common. Otherwise, they all chose their own stories. Nobody gave them stories. I don't think so. No? They all of them, I think, chose their own stories, and I think they are trying to express in their own way what they feel about everything.
You like to say something?
Yeah, you are more talking about two stories, right?
Yeah.
And the one with the mobile phones had references of that, and Azad had references. Yeah.
Even Decibel had that cashback, that the guy says that I won't accept credit card.
That was
Clairvoyant.
that was before
There's a bit of a-
before demonetization.
But I think the story must have been written before this. I would like to say something. I feel that I know what you're saying, Faridun, huh? And I do feel that cinema, as he said, you can even disguise things. Cinema cannot be coming out from a position of fear. It cannot be. And there are all kinds of forces in the world that come and go. But it is important for filmmakers, and especially young filmmakers, to be clear of what they want to say and say it in the way that they can, and in the way that it affects people in a positive way. I don't think that there is any message in this movie which is either subservient or anti anything. They're just making their films.
So this is like a collection of 7 short films where you could lay out possibly such subservient messages, but when you're making your big ticket films, where there's like big ticket, do you think this allows you more of a freedom where you could take those turns and
Not to give subservient messages, but see, the financial risk usually is considered to be bigger when you're making a bigger budget film and it is one film, etc., etc. I don't know so much about it, didn't give so much thought. There has been so much movement in that area, and I have been absent actually, so I don't really know exactly what's going on. But yeah, I think logically there would be,
So for them to make a transition to feature films, what would be your best advice to them? What is the road ahead for them, and how should they tackle it?
I think we should.
Commercial cinema, I'm talking about Bollywood, because
For them as directors to step
I think, some of them may not want to make feature films, some of them want to make feature films. I think the method is to write, that's the best method, write or adapt a story which is close to the heart. So what a short film does is basically gives you the confidence that you can do something, and you also learn what you don't know, So it's better than, I feel making a film actually is the best education to make another film.
That's true.
So, how do I say it? So, there's so many people who made a short film which worked, and hence somebody noticed them, and so that. So I think it's.
But it's, I think, maybe a good idea to ask them whether they would like to make feature films. Do you guys? Who doesn't want to make?
Yes.
Yeah,
All of you? What about you?
I think,
Yeah, and what about
I'm
Annie?
not sure.
Well, I see myself primarily as a writer. I think the core of all my work, whatever work I do, is writing, and I would most definitely like to write feature films. Making, I'm still kind of making my mind up about that.
Did you enjoy the process of direction?
Well, with shorts, actually, it's a little more complicated, I think, because when you work on a very tight budget, and I've worked on an even tighter budget in the past, like much tighter than this. But I also think that you end up doing a lot of the production yourself, and
That will never change. Will that change?
everybody
I
assures
remember
me that
when
it
she
will
came,
change.
when she first came on board.
It will change.
It will never. I don't know who tells you. Sorry, Srina, what were you
When she
saying?
came on board, the first thing I told her, look, apparently it's a very kind of really low budget and so on. She said, the last one I made in $7,000. I said, okay, then you have a chance. So that.
Yeah.
What about the rest? Everybody? Everyone wants to direct feature films.
Sure. But just a
Yeah.
question that I wanted to ask. The most refreshing bit about a short film is the fact that we got to see real actors. When they come
Yeah,
into feature
sure,
films, it's the
sure.
star sons and the superstar system
Yeah, yeah.
that takes over.
Yeah.
So how discouraging is that? You have a script, you want to cast an actor, but then the studio says, no, we want to go with the superstar. So if you could just offer an advice to them.
This is such an old problem that it's like I'll say the same things which a lot of people would have said, that the power of a story or the lure of the story should be the reason to make a film, and any other, there should be no more system than that. But it's been going on for 100 years all over the world, actually.
Have you ever faced any such problems while starting out?
Star problems.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like if you could share.
I also made my first film, and I remember that I was trying to cast Abhay Deol in it, and Anurag and me had gone to some actually very nice guys, but jewelers, to produce the film. You know, they were very great guys. You know, and they said they want to produce film. So then, वो कहानी बहुत अच्छा है. And then I remember a guy said, "Nice story, good, great. Abhay, but I think we should get Shah Rukh Khan for it." So I said, "Yeah, Shah Rukh Khan." So then it didn't happen. Then it happened elsewhere. So things like that have happened, of course, and so many that I don't even remember.
Did you at that time ever think that you want to
I
work
should
with
have-
Shah Rukh Khan? Or now that you are working
no.
with
See,
him?
what happens usually is, I think it's the same for many directors, that you have a story and there you feel that this type of person is suited. Shah Rukh Khan couldn't be suited. I was making a story of a guy who's like Abhay's age at that time. Shah Rukh Khan was not that age.
He plays that anyway.
Guys, I just want to ask if you had any, since you saw the 7 films, if you had any questions for them, for their films.
Okay, so these films will be will they be available on YouTube or?
They are releasing tomorrow theatrically. You can get tickets on bookmyshow.com
That is fine, but
and eventually on Amazon Prime Video.
That's Amazon Prime. So
Not
they
yet,
should be
yeah.
launching very soon.
They have launched. I think they launched.
They have launched, but so they must be released. They
Once the
can
film
release
goes through
this soon.
theatrical rounds, then it will get launched on their platform. No, as a omnibus, as a feature. It is a feature.
This for the filmmakers, any of it based on a true story or is it all work of fiction?
Guys,
Mine is a true story.
Mine is kind of not based on a.
when you
true
say
story.
mine, also say which film.
Yeah, Mia I Am, the last film in the series. So it's not based on a true story, but inspired, you could say. Like long time back, there was this thing in Delhi called DPS MMS Kant.
Yeah.
So that was the video which triggered me to make this film, because I kept thinking about what must have actually happened to that girl.
Yeah.
So after that, whatever you see in the film is my figment of imagination, where I thought how the character probably would be in her life after that, and then eventually how she could probably get out of it. So I want to show the problem and then a solution within itself.
But coming to your film,
Yeah.
in my opinion, was it necessary to, till the time she became a star and her video was going viral,
Yeah.
was it necessary to at the last frame when this other girl comes and she asks that are you? So that's kind of disturbing, I mean, there's this
I am so
end
glad
which
you
was
asked this
so
question.
into it, and
Shit.
then you're suddenly adding another frame, which wasn't, in my opinion, necessary.
No, you actually asked the most important question, because initially when I had written, I was very excited with this thought that somebody should come and tell this guy that are you that motherfucker, Rohan? Because it's not her revenge. It's mostly like we keep seeing a lot of these incidents where people keep posting pictures of somebody harassing somebody on Facebook and all. So we just write a comment, what an asshole, what a stupid guy, or we just walk away after that. And do any one of us kind of remember the faces or anything to do with that? Will you ever come across that guy and you recognize that, are you that same guy who did something like that? So I was just trying to have a take on that aspect, that if we are witnessing something like that, maybe it's a good idea to actually just have a little bit of memory of, I don't know, it might not work. It's a very hypothetical thing. But the idea is that what if somebody actually remembers, because somebody is so hurt and disturbed by this girl's story, that they actually recognize this guy who's flirting with another girl randomly, and probably he could have done the same thing with her. She could have also fallen in the same trap. And luckily she recognized that he's that asshole whom I had seen. So she goes up to him and says, are you that motherfucker, Rohan? So I was, initially...
So I must say that there was a time when he said that I don't want to keep it, and I was insisting that he does, because I thought there was some sort of a hard justice and a good ending to I would like to see it, that kind of thing.